Remix. 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 Remix.
Oh, yeah. Welcome out. This is the Remix Morning Show. Right here on Black Liberation Media. In case you didn't know, I go by the name of the Ear Doctor, bringing you that boom bap breakfast. Yes, us, not just me, holding this steed straight from the DMV and all across the country, as you can see, from Jersey to DC to more DMV. Maryland, Baltimore, they all the same. Anyway, let's get to it right here, right now. Let me introduce you to our host with the most. Straight from the East Coast. He is the brethren. They call him Harry. And any day, every day, all day, they call her Renee. And she's not ready yet, but they call her Kim. What's good, y'all?
What's up?
I love to make y'all smile in the morning time. You know what I'm saying?
Like only you can, Ear Doctor.
Hey, bro, you know, that's part of life. That's part of living. That's part of growing. That's part of healing. That good feeling.
Facts. How you doing, Ear Doctor? How was your week?
No. We're not going there that quick. We're not going there that quick. So you can think about yours. Nah, it was good. It was a great weekend. Damn, what did I do this weekend? I did a lot. I just can't remember right now because you just asked me that question. So I'm gonna flip it back on you and try to remember because I'm a little older, so I gotta remember my memory.
Put you on the spot, my bad.
Yeah, where you been, son?
I was on vacation and then I was sick, and those things overlapped. So when you take PTO, you think you're gonna be good, and you get sick the day of your PTO. That's what happened. What's happening?
Saw that fried chicken. Go ahead. What else? What's happened?
But yeah, no, it's been good. Let me see. The last weekend was doing some outreach for upcoming Malcolm X Day. I'll talk about that at the end of the show. But that's always good, getting out, talking to the people. Let me see, what else? What did I do? Oh, Mother's Day, obviously, on Sunday.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so I got to spend some time with my mom and my dad. Went down to Virginia, chill with them. What else? And then the last thing, shout out to Jared. I made it up to Baltimore because I knew I was going to be able to see it tonight because I have work, but I made it up to Baltimore last night to see Crushing Wheelchairs.
Okay.
Very powerful film. Shout out to Jared. Shout out to people at Porn Magazine. Yeah, like very, very, very dope, very powerful film.
Nice. Happy Mother's Day there, Renee. How you doing? How was your weekend?
Happy Mother's Day, Renee.
Thank you. It was pretty good. Just so everybody knows, Ear Doctor actually sent me a message on Mother's Day to say Happy Mother's Day. It's very appreciated.
Not a bad guy.
Nice. It was nice. Hung with the family. It was.
Did they cook or they took you out?
They took me out. We had brunch at a friend's house, and her husband cooked, and then we went for Italian for dinner, which was nice. So it was good. Look, my goal for Mother's Day is to not do all the things that I have to do all the other days. So I'm not cleaning nothing.
Hell, you're not supposed to.
Absolutely, yeah. I was like, that's how the day used to work.
Pretty much. I was like,
we're gonna take one. I get 1 day a year to take off. I'm taking it.
Yeah, that's how it's supposed to be.
I mean, at least 1 day. You got Mother's Day, you got your birthday. I don't know. Maybe there's another day in there, but at least that one.
Man. Crazy.
Shit, Father's Day come around, I walk around like a king around my kids. Like,
Of course. Yeah, exactly.
Manicures, pedicures, head rub.
But we had Andy Ellis on Saturday to talk about updates for his campaign. We talked about data centers. We talked about racism. We talked about all the things. And it was such a good conversation. So,
Yeah.
Nice. That's real good. It's real good. I still don't remember what happened this weekend. I was just talking to Evan about my memory fading the older I'm getting, and I said, you know what? Let me just make new memories. So,
Yeah.
But I could tell you who had a pretty good weekend, yo. You ready for this? Burn it down, Kimber.
Hey now.
Hey. What's up?
The cat hat matching. I see you out here.
Oh, she's fresh. She's fresh to death.
Looking like Ego Kid from UTFO.
It's completely by accident, and you know this, so. If I y'all see me matching, that shit is an accident. That shit is a lucky day.
Yo, we said it. You looked up again. You looked up to the screen one more time. You're like
oh shit, I am.
Matching. Thank y'all for sharing. But anyway,
it's effortless, Kim. It's effortless. That's what you gotta let them know.
Evan, you sound alive out here, alive and healthy. I'm very glad to hear it.
I feel a lot better. I'm gonna say that. I feel a lot better.
Yeah,
what jumped on you? You had that Hanta virus. What jumped on you, brother?
Nah, I ain't been on no cruises recently, so I was able to dodge that bullet. Nah, man, it was just some random cold, but stuff be lingering. So
wow,
yeah, for a little while.
Yeah, he drinking that community movement Build a Seymour, so he'd be all right.
Hey, you got to start levitating out here.
Yo, Kim, you look like you had a pretty good weekend. I even got pictures. It's crazy.
You got evidence of me being
evidence
way outside, huh?
Yes, it looks very good too. I don't know if you mind me showing it, but yeah.
Do you mind him showing it? Let's get an answer before you pull that up here.
Think about your weekend now. You don't know what part I'm talking about.
Well, it's not. I wasn't on top of the table singing "Friends in Low Places,"
Okay.
Which is my shit, by the way. I would sing
Friends in Low Places. That's the shit. Y'all know about that.
It is, but this Mother's Day weekend, my mom and I and my man friends, we went down to Chincoteague Island, which is one of the barrier islands along the Delmarva Peninsula. And
did you see the horses?
Yes.
You saw the horses?
Yes.
Oh!
What are they? Special horses? Unicorns?
I don't know about these horses. Tell us about these horses.
Mr. Ed, what's going on?
It is like a legit thing. The wild horses of the Chincoteague Island. Like people travel to see these horses because they're just like it's the only place where any horses roam free like that. It's wild.
Your doctor said, "Were they unicorns?"
I was like, "Wait a minute, what is?" Yo, I got a picture of you and your mom look like it's an album cover. Like y'all look like we take the album cover should be "We Taking Back Over the World." Straight up.
It's Whitney and Sissy on the album cover.
Can I put it up, Kim?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Look at this right here. Look at the last one to the right.
Yo,
they got they shades on, looking out like we taking over. Yo, that shit is hard. You got a dog?
My mama has a dog. Butch.
I see. Butch.
That does look like a butch. That dog looks like a butch for sure.
Definitely look like a butch. Maybe even the Dutch. Never mind. All right, but yeah, I see y'all.
The Dutch. What's you about? Don't
ask him.
Another name for Butch.
You're hilarious. What's wrong with you? What is the matter? Why are you this way? Well, let me say this real quick. So Chincoteague, as Renee alluded to, the ponies. So Chincoteague and Assateague Islands, barrier islands along the Delmarva Peninsula. In 1750, they believe that a Spanish galleon, a Spanish ship crashed and got shipwrecked, and all these horses got released. And these horses have been on this island for almost 300 years. It's crazy. And so annually they have what they call a pony swim. So it's the Chincoteague pony swim. So all these horses swim the channel. It's a big deal. But in the interim, you can go only visit the island via boat. I don't think people are actually allowed on the island because they don't want to interfere with the horses. But the white man driving the boat, shout out to Captain Kurt, Riptide Pony Tours. Captain Kurt said we don't normally see the ponies. He said you he said the ponies that we saw, I'm not sure if you have the video, Ear Doctor. We have a video of one of the stallions whose name is Riptide with his mare and the baby horse, his foal. And the white man said this is only his third time seeing this particular stallion this year. So it seems as though the ponies came out to visit me and my mama as we came to visit them.
They heard y'all coming through. They were like, we gotta go out and see.
They did.
Nice.
Did. And the whites were very nice. Can I say this? Because when you go, when you venture far outside the DC Baltimore metro area, it gets real MAGA real quick in Maryland and Virginia. And I gotta say, all the whites were very friendly. So shout out to the whites.
Shout out to them, man.
Well, I guess your light skin helped you out a little bit.
It may have. we will not underestimate the power of colorism out here. That is big facts.
It is. I walked in some rooms and it was like, oh, I'm serving.
Oh, he's
all
safe.
right.
Look at that.
We say, yeah, he's one of them good ones.
See, that's why the radical light skins go so hard because the whites think that they safe. That's why we had Huey and Malcolm. Everybody going super hard.
Tall Angela Davis, keep going.
Who is the sister from Tennessee with blue eyes? Her name is Diane. What's her last name? She organized a lot out of Tennessee State, I think, with Marion Barry. Light skinned sister, blue eyes.
We hear those keyboard going.
I know the chat knows. Chat, you know exactly who I'm talking about.
All right. Well, we'll wait and see if the chat can come up with it. We got a guest coming at top of the hour. We got some news, a lot of things going on in the world. Diane Nash.
There we go. Thank you, chat.
Diane Nash.
Okay.
Yes,
right.
yes. Heavyweight sister, super light skin.
Super duper. Almost what did they call it? Translucent. All right, we're gonna go ahead and take a quick break and we're gonna come back.
Shot, what's up, Renee? Happy Mother's Day, baby.
Yeah, happy Mother's Day, Renee.
Thank you.
Once again.
Look at Renee being a good mother out here dropping her child off. Look
I
at
know,
that.
right? Back on duty the next day.
The next day.
The next week.
And no days off for mama.
And I bet the kids was trying to do stuff for her, and she was like, "But you were supposed to do it like this." It's just sitting there like being tortured, like, not like that.
No, I sure wasn't.
Oh, they know what to do now.
Yep, he's good.
Oh, good, even better.
I already know.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and take our first break, and then we're gonna come back right here on no other than the Remix Morning Show. What? I come out to play. Right round me, just don't. Yeah, what's good, everybody? Welcome out to the Remix Morning Show. I go by the name of the Ear Doctor. Thank you all for tuning in. Hit that like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel. Go to patreon.com, become a member over there, get footage that's rare. Donate where at blkliberationmedia.org. Yes, as you can see at the bottom of the screen, blkliberationmedia.org. Go over there and get you some swag and things like that. All right, let's talk about the weather. I don't know what y'all getting into, but today in the ATL, we got a high of 74 degrees. Looks a little cloudy out. DC, high today of 68 degrees. Chicago, a little hotter, 69. Houston, high of 83 degrees. And let's take it to St. Kitts, Charleston, high of 84 degrees. And last but not least, we're going to take it, well, maybe not to the motherland, but cousin land. Cambodia, they got a high of, I love this word, Batabang. Batabang, Cambodia. They got a high of 94 degrees today. That's pretty hot. I tell you what else is kind of hot. This whole hacking thing going on with Canvas. Yeah, so what happened is they got hacked, and the hackers came out. It says the maker of the Canvas learning platform strikes a deal for hackers to return data. So the hackers took the data, and now they like, yo, we'll work out something so we could get our data back. That's wild. Like when I was talking about teaching these young youth how to use STEM and how to use these computers, I was like, yo, wow, tell you ways to learn how to use it against your enemy. But anyway, yeah, so that's happening right now. So a lot of data breaching and this, that, and the third. So watch your stuff. All right. With that said, let's get back to it right here on the Remix Morning Show. Yeah.
All the kids stuff on the dark web.
You're on mute, Evan.
All the kids stuff on the dark web. All of it.
Yeah. I was like, I like that catch you was playing.
Oh yeah. You see, I just watched a Tiny Desk.
I was about to say, I was like, that was pretty dope. It was pretty dope.
Yeah.
I got to see him when we were out in St. Thomas for Carnival. I think it was maybe last year.
Is it me or a lot of soca just sound the same?
Issue.
You bugging.
I mean, you gotta have the like. you know how you have genres and they hear the genre, but you still have variety within the genre. You know that I'm not telling you. You're the ear doctor. You know.
Yeah. That's all I say. It sounds the same. But yeah. Just like but yeah, with the whole breach thing, man. These data centers, they getting got. Yo, people are trying to get ransom money. Hackers is like, yo, word, run it. That's the new. You know what I'm saying?
There's that, but I try to be leery with the amount of your children's biometrics that you share with anything. Like nothing needs your child's fingerprints. Nothing needs your child's retina scan. It doesn't need it. Now, I'm not saying that Canvas is one of those platforms, but a lot of sensitive information of hundreds of millions of children now exist on the dark web in perpetuity, I would imagine. So, and I know you can't help that. If you send your kid to school, you got to do that. But in general, no, Apple, your child's iPhone does not require its fingerprint to open. Apple doesn't need that information from your child.
Yeah, it's wild out here.
Real quick, ear doctor, do you know what else I did this weekend?
Oh, what did you do?
I met A-Rob.
Oh, shout out to A-Rob.
Shout out to A-Rob and Natasha.
Big up to A-Rob and Natasha. What did they say good? What did they say good about me?
Oh, they said glowing things. Nothing but the highest praise for the ear doctor. Have I met the ear doctor in person? Is the ear doctor really that fine in real life? All the questions.
Why you gonna tell him that? Why you gonna tell him that, Kim?
You see these guns, they come out sometimes.
Oh, yes. Girls were inquiring about the guns. Yes, they wanted to know all about the guns. No, but shout out to A-Rob. We've got all kinds of people in this community. A-Rob does assistive tech for disabled folks, and they were showing me some cool new gadgety things that could assist your crippled sister over here. So and she made a house call, no less. So shout out to A-Rob and Natasha in town for the Black Mamas March that happened in DC over the weekend. A-Rob was DJing, and shout out to all the organizers who put that together this weekend in DC.
Did you go to see A-Rob DJ? Oh, no.
No, because we had just got back from Eastern Shore, but A-Rob came to see us, so it was dope.
That's dope.
And A-Rob met Butch. A-Rob met Mama's dog.
Dope.
Dope. The Pocket Comrades were out there too. Kim, I don't know if you saw I think we had a table out there.
Word. Y'all was out there tabling.
It was out there. Comrades was out there.
Big up.
All right, I guess Renee's back there getting things together, and I guess I could get off the screen and let y'all. Let me see what she's saying back here. I think I'm through it now. Still on the road though. Okay. All right. Well, I'll get out of here and let y'all do your thing.
Look at that live producer.
All live
effects. Welcome. Oh no, Kim, please.
Oh no, Evan. Well, first of all, it is wonderful to see your face regracing our screen. We know you have been under the weather. That hantavirus ain't nothing to play with.
You gonna have people out here thinking I'm spreading things, and I'm not.
Oh, they got a spot for you at the University of Nebraska at the isolation center. They wait. No, I'm just fucking with you, but no, Evan is very healthy, and
it's good to see you too, Kim. I miss you. I miss Renee. Ear doctor, but I missed y'all.
Very nice.
And I was giving ear doctor a hard time. It took him a week to forget my name. I was like, damn, that's some. I was low-key. I was kind of hurt. I was like, for real. week after week. I miss 1 week, and you going, all right.
Hey man, not everybody remembered that Randy Jackson came in for Marlon in the Jackson 5. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, it's fine. Ear doctor, go ahead and slap that map for us, please. Hey, everybody. Peace and greetings, blessings and salutations. It's the Remix Morning Show, the Tuesday edition. Today is Tuesday, May the 12th, 2026. It doesn't feel like May the 12th. It actually feels like March 28th.
Yeah. What is time?
What is time? Especially when the seasons are not denoting like the proper time. So anyway, nothing means nothing anymore. Who knows?
Exactly.
Is it freezing where you are? What's some temperatures like in Chicago? Minneapolis, 30 degrees this morning, I'm guessing. Upstate New York, what it look like? Cold as shit. I already know. It might be even cold in Florida this morning. We don't know what the hell's going on, but we know this show is going on. Shout out to Black Liberation Media. Shout out to all of our dope remixers. We got Evans in here with a Z on the end. We got Kim, Renee back there somewhere. Ear Doctor, aka Light Skin Luke Cage. We out here, fully loaded clip, kids. Hope everybody's doing good.
Oh man, Light Skin Luke Cage is killing me.
Dog. That he named himself that, and I said I've been trying to call him Light Skin Luke Cage.
Oh, he did it. He did it. He named himself that name. Yo, man, your doctor is nuts.
Yo, I got a dude look like Luke Cage across the street from me, and he had to bark at the uglies, the niggas that I don't like in the neighborhood. And then I heard about it from another neighbor. I said, God damn, I wish I'd have been here to see that.
Yo, Kim, you just reminded me of that story you telling. You had one neighbor that was messaging you, and you had like a speaker where you were.
Dog.
That's next level, man. But I appreciate that.
I thank you, Evan. Thank you so much. You know, I'm just one woman out here, one little woman. You know what I'm saying? But it don't matter how many takers. I'm out here. You know what I'm saying? We're going to talk our shit all the way down to the ground. And, Evan, you feel me? We go and talk our shit going down. It don't matter.
Facts.
Don't matter. But anyway, it's a lot going on. And I'm not sure where we would like to begin. News-wise, shout out to Reverend Dr. Sister Erica, who I believe she always laces us. And if she don't lace us, she tell us in advance she's not going to lace us because she's very professional that way and considerate. We love you, Sister Erica. Thank you so much for that.
I added a couple at the end, one of which is kind of quick, just talking about the Howard students, so maybe we can jump there. Sure.
Howard commencement was this weekend, always a big deal in the city. I heard some of the kids did not appreciate Mayor Muriel Bowser as their commencement speaker. You thought the kids at South Carolina State made a stink. Howard University kids like middle finger to the law.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Let me see.
That's still crazy. I mean, what? 2026.
I'm just gonna run it back. Okay, there we go.
That's still crazy. I mean, what?
2026. No, we have something and call that
Great job.
They might say something about us HBCUs, but the revolution started at the colleges, boy. I tell you right now, we get some education. Huh?
Take a moment for
what?
I'm shouting out the students here, but let's be clear: the HBCU, the institution, is the one that brought her there. and waited until the last minute to announce it, such that the students were,
We're talking about the students.
We used to HBCUs. I'm the students. I just want to lock on the students, not the administration. But go ahead, do your thing.
Oh no, please. Let's continue to bash the institutions at HBCUs where they learn how to, have finally learn their history and then be like, you know what, this ain't right.
Hold on, your doctor. They didn't learn how to do this at that institution.
Yeah, they got the education to understand what's going on in the world because they don't get it in high school, and they finally got there and wasn't getting, had black professors that say, here's information that you can learn. And now they like, oh shit, that ain't right.
You see how he does that? He just vanishes.
So, Evan, would you mind giving a description of the visuals that we saw?
Yes,
please?
yes. Thank you. So in the visual, you could see the students taking one of three tactics. They were encouraged to protest by either turning around during the speech, heckling, or walking out of the event. You see some students doing all three. But this was an action that many of the students took in order to protest having Muriel Bowser there, mayor of DC, come as the commencement speaker. And rightfully so. Muriel Bowser has been an exemplar of the Black Leadership class here in the city, criminalizing our youth, attacking our communities, right? Being in lockstep with Donald Trump. And honestly, like the DC Leadership class, Black Leadership class, all of their crimes against us precede Donald Trump, in honesty, right? So, this is longstanding, and the students, made their voices heard. So appreciate that. Appreciate the radical disposition of these students and their organization. And yeah, we need to continue to support them and work with them. And I want to be clear that they were doing that in contrast to how the institution decided to, which invited her related to all of this. So, shout out to those kids, those young people.
That's right. See, that's the whole thing. Just like back in the day when they had the churches, we had somewhere that we can meet up and have conversations and organize. You're missing the point here, Evan. All these Black students are able to have intellect, get together and organize, start their own organizations and move on the institutions. So that's why I say big up to these HBCUs where you got a bunch of students with intellect that could get together and radicalize and organize. That's what they did in the churches because that was our safe space. That's what these kids are doing in these schools.
So I'm sure Muriel without question, she was invited to speak at the commencement at the behest of the university. But as you know, Evan, this is Muriel Bowser's last term in office. She is not seeking re-election. So I figure Muriel would one of her final swan songs to be to give the commencement at Howard University. And I'm sure she wasn't expecting that all the way. What did the look on her face? Was Muriel just bemused, or was she, because sometimes Muriel can't hide. That is the one thing I do appreciate about Muriel, by the way. Like, Muriel is for real Black out here because she can't hide her irritation. She don't even try to.
That is true, but I feel like I saw she did that little, like when politicians are being pushed against in a very legitimate way and have no response, that is to do that smile, like just I don't know what I love the kids and I'm just here to like that. Like that was the vibe I got, and kids weren't having it, students weren't having it. So shout out to them.
Oh my gosh, class of 2026, you guys are beams of hope and sunshine. We love you. Thank you, class of 2026, for being who you are and being fed up with the shits. I love to see young people fed up early. You know what I'm saying? Don't wait till you 30 to get fed up. Get fed the fuck up right now. Get fed up at 20. Get fed up at 21. Because guess what? At 30, it's probably going to be looking like the same shit. So you might as well get mad now.
That's true. I mean, that's true. That's facts. And they're not students are being directly attacked right in this moment, right? So it's not even like this is not the repression came to them, right? Like, let's not forget, right, during the encampments, right, what happened and how these HBCUs and other institutions treated them, right, and criminalized them, right, and sent the police, right, to harass them and brutalize them. So you know, these students have been radicalized, I think, quite honestly, over the past few years. And it was actually interesting, you know, I got to talk to, and this is, you know, when we were doing outreach one weekend for PACA, and I got to talk to these two young brothers who had just graduated from Brown. Made me feel very old, but it was dope to talk to them and just hear like how, you know, student consciousness had progressed, how it hadn't, right? And the kind of contradictions that were alive on the campus, you know, more recently. And it was interesting, right? Because I was reflecting on my own experience at school and just like, yeah, like we weren't, they're much clearer than I was, right? And then we were back then, right? And I think that part of that is the intensity, right? Like a genocide is going to do that, right? Is gonna heighten contradictions in a way that they weren't heightened, right? When I was in school, right? We were, yeah, like things happen, right? And we organized around it, but you know, this was also Obama's first term, right? And like the kind of counterinsurgency, right? Now, in retrospect, you know, I can see that language and use that, but the kind of counterinsurgency that was being implemented amongst our communities was top notch, right? And I think the political disposition of the student body reflected that. So it's dope to see that, you know, not to say those contradictions don't still exist, they absolutely do, right? And we have our more radical students on these campuses trying. I mean, you've seen the video. There were students that were sitting down, chilling, looking in the mirror, trying to, you know what I'm saying, make themselves nice so they could receive these blessings from this imperial girl boss that was about to speak to them, right? So some of them were there for that, but you know, importantly, many of the students weren't, right, and made their voices heard. So it's always dope to see that radicalism in our students.
Very proud of the Howard students, very proud of the students at South Carolina State for also standing up to defend the honor of their commencement and not wanted to be preached at by some MAGA nitwit. And Muriel's kind of a MAGA nitwit in a way, you know, so I'm glad to see it. Shout out to Howard University, radical class of 2026.
So yeah, shout out to them. Okay, what do you
Speaking of the shouts, you know, Evan,
so
allegedly, because you know we're at war. Is that still going on? Yes, it's definitely still going on. And
if the number at the gas station was any indication, I filled up my tank. We were absolutely still at war, and the U.S. is still getting its butt handed to itself.
But you wouldn't know it by watching the fucking news, though. You know what I'm saying?
Wouldn't.
I was watching NBC, God help me, and for an extended period. And so usually the so-called important news, top stories get hit at the top of the hour. So I'm watching at the top of the hour. These niggas talked about 20 Bamas being sent to University of Nebraska for hantavirus observation. And I said, you know, the Sacred Defense Lego video I just saw on TikTok says that U.S. naval destroyers just got blamed on. And I'm watching NBC News ain't mentioned a goddamn thing about it. And at this point, Evan, I trust the Sacred Defense Lego videos to give me more credible information about what's happening with the conflict with the I said, well, look at Sacred Defense. Let me find that Sacred Defense Lego video so we all can be well apprised of the fucking news out here. But any stories, Evan, have you seen any stories of the naval destroyers getting blamed on? I would say getting blamed on, getting shot at by IRGC missiles.
That would be too much like telling the truth.
Trump said the niggas ain't got no more missiles. Iran said bullshit. Guess what?
Well, since we were in the DC area talking about Howard and students, I thought a story about this curfew with the younger students that's going on right now might be the story y'all can talk about.
Let's pull it up.
So right now, pretty much what's going on is the DC Council passed a new permanent youth curfew law Tuesday while failing to act on emergency legislation that will have immediately reinstated nighttime restrictions on young people as the district tries to get a handle on so-called teen takeovers in bustling areas such as Navy Yard and U Streets.
Yeah. Nope. Thank you, Doctor. Yeah. So, you know, this recently happened, right? This permanent curfew legislation. And just to be clear, right, that emergency legislation was to bridge a gap that was created, but it wasn't, you know, essentially it wasn't needed. And they went with this, right? So there's now a permanent youth curfew in the city.
Permanent.
Again, based off of conjecture, opinions, right? No data, nothing scientific, right? Just the word of a black police chief, black pig.
I mean, this is all black codes, right? This is all post-Reconstruction black code. Like, tell me what's changed from 1865 to right now with trying to regulate how black people are seen and move in public. Like, there's no irony on the DC. Like, y'all don't. I'm sure there was a black code passed in DC in the 1800s, and this, to me, I'm sure the wording would be very similar, except I'm sure the 1865 statute probably says black in it, but 2026, it's implied black, right?
I mean, well, don't sell them short, Kim. You know what I'm saying? Because we have progressed. We've moved into a neo-colonial position where it's black people doing it to us. So, you know,
yo,
they're moving forward. They're evolving.
Like a
but
virus.
yeah, I mean, you know, this youth, it's crazy, right? And you know, fundamentally, right? Like I don't want to. I would disregard all of their premises, right? All their premises around crime, around all of that. You know, young people deserve to be in public space, right? They deserve to exist in public space and have fun and enjoy themselves during the summer and all of these things, right? And on the weekends, right? And this is very much right. Criminalization of our youth. It's part of the war against our people, right? And the most vulnerable segments of our society, you know, our children. And it's disgusting, right? You know, and it is black politicians, black police chiefs that are implementing this. So, you know, shout out to PACA, shout out to Community Control DC. Check out the platform. I'll put that in the chat as well. But yeah, man, you know, that's the state that we're in, and we're trying to work against it.
Evan, do you know what the emergency bill is that they pulled? Like, what is? Are they unrelated? The two things?
No, they were related. It was the emergency bill was like the bridge a gap, but it wasn't. But it also took more votes. This took less. I think this took only 7 votes. I think that emergency legislation would have took 9 votes, and they didn't think they had it. But it was also to bridge a gap. So essentially, like it wasn't needed.
So the emergency bill was going to be in case the permanent one didn't clear.
Yeah, my understanding was that it was to bridge that gap, because this one still starts on. It has to be signed by the mayor and then obviously goes to Congress. So before it's implemented. So yeah, so I think that was the strategy around that. What are any other thoughts?
I'm curious, do these type, I already know they do in some form or fashion, but what other cities have youth curfews in place? Now I know in Chicago, Brandon Johnson, I think they they have to, but they did put a youth curfew in place. Brandon Johnson, at least to his credit, he stands up for the kids of Chicago. Like, he doesn't let like the other politics. Let me not stand. I don't know this man, but when I see clips of him, you know, he's usually saying, you know, we just need more things for the kids to do. He does go back to the pat answer of, you know, parents need to parent their kids, but he's the first one I've seen say this. He was like, how do you know all these kids have parents, right? Like, seldom do you see even black politicians. You never see the white ones, but the black politicians, they don't even bring up that possibility usually. Same with Muriel Bowser. Like, she's always like, well, we need parents to be parents. It's like, well, how do you know what these kids' home situations is? You don't really care. You just care that they out in the streets. Now, what happens if you actually followed up with these kids and saw what their situations were? Then maybe you'd have a little bit more compassion while they're hanging out till 3 a.m. You don't know what their home situation is like. So what other cities chime in here?
As the chat chimes in, I will say that there was an amendment. It was an amendment in the bill that passed around not allowing police to take youth to a detention center. And Bowser explicitly argued against that. Because he said the cops don't have time to take these kids back home,
but they got time to take them to jail. Go fuck yourself, Muriel.
I mean, this is nuts, man. It's nuts, and disgraceful. But you know, black bougie.
I feel like there's areas of Jersey. I'm like trying to look it up because I feel like there's areas of Jersey that have youth curfews. Because there's a whole thing with the malls in Jersey, like they can't be unaccompanied. So
now I'm curious, do they
I
have
think it's South Jersey, like down the shore. I just found it because I was like, I swear.
That's what I was going to ask you, because I'm like, that's got to be for white children though, Renee, down the shore.
Oh, it definitely is. It definitely is. Wildwood they closed the beach at 10. There's a curfew for unaccompanied minors, a backpack ban after 8 p.m. That's very interesting.
A backpack ban after 8 p.m. This is just
yep. So here are all the Jersey Shore towns that have curfews for unaccompanied minors: Atlantic City, Asbury Park, Bridgentine, North Wildwood, Ocean City, Point Pleasant Beach, Sea Isle City, Seaside Heights, and Toms River / Portland Beach. So these are all the South Shore places that make money during the summertime off of people traveling to the shore to go to the beach. And so that's what that's about. It's interesting though.
Oh wow. I didn't even thank you for pulling that up. From Doc Wu 77, Atlanta going to start charging parents for youth crimes. I was literally looking it up because I was like, wait, is that actually happening? And yes, a Metro Atlanta City, Covington passed some quote minors and parents responsibility ordinance in May 2026.
How are you reading on another screen, but you did not pull it up so we could see what you're talking about? What is happening?
Get to it, Renee.
I'm reading the Google AI overview. That I wasn't trying. I'm just trying to give you the quick and dirty. You know what I mean?
All right, go ahead. I'm gonna stop you.
But it essentially holding parents legally and financially liable for children's crimes. Parents can face up to $2,000 in fines and 90 days in jail. Let me find that story. Metro Atlanta. Yeah, here we go. This is nuts, man. I hate these people so much.
Very hateable.
And it'd always be the black cities doing this. Metro Atlanta City approves a plan to hold parents liable for children's crimes with process ongoing. Covington City Council passed an ordinance to allow the council to meet with police and zoning officials to create another ordinance aimed at holding parents liable for criminal acts committed by their children. The draft of the proposal would see the city council setting fines and jail time for parents whose children commit crimes. Now that the city council has passed the initial plan to move forward with drafting those provisions, city leaders will meet with Covington Police and members of the planning and zoning department to look at options to implement the plan at a future meeting. The plan ordinance to then draft a new set of liabilities in Covington passed on April 20th, 4-2, allowing the city to move forward on a way to hold parents liable for their kids' crimes could face thousands of dollars in fines and months in jail.
And to what end? So, okay, you lock up the parent for something the child did. Now the parent has no income. Now the whole family goes homeless. Like what? Like what's the end? What is the end result of these new laws or these restrictions on parents? And not to say, I mean, I think parents should be responsible, but at the same time, not everybody got mama and daddy in the house.
You imagine?
Sorry, just real quick. Remember in California, y'all's girls, Harris, when she was the top Mala, was locking up parents when their children didn't go to school. So this is always been one of these things that they've done because for some, whatever this bizarre idea is that like, if your kid is wilding out and you're working 3 jobs, you going to jail is going to help make that better. So, Yeah.
Exactly. I think that's like the perversity of it. That like that's what it is for me, right? Like these are already parents who are probably strapped for cash, right? Trying to work multiple jobs, right? Trying to do what they can, and you're going to charge them $2,000, like $2,000, outrageous. 90 days in jail. You think that's going to stabilize this family situation? You think it's going to stabilize the home situation, taking away the parent for 9? Like it's just, yeah, man. It's infuriating, and it's absolutely not. A cursory view can tell you this has nothing to do with safety. This has nothing to do with protecting our communities. This is only about criminalizing our people, right, and continuing the war against them, right. And when we talk about our neo-colonial status, this is it, right. We have Black people doing this to us, right. Our politicians are the ones doing this to us, not our politicians. Black politicians who say that they're our politicians, right, say they're working for our communities, right, Black police chiefs, black cops who say they're getting on the force to protect the community. You know, this is them. This is what they do. This is what they produce, right? Because they're still working for white capital, and we are still in a neo-colonial situation. So, yeah. And it reminds me of this other story. I'm trying to find it, but it's one charging, putting people in jail who are unhoused. Where did that story go? You know what I'm talking about on the run sheet?
Which one?
Oh, there you go. Yeah, I got it. Hold on a second.
And I say that kind of facetiously because there's been so many laws passed in recent, like the past 2 years, 2 years, criminalizing the houseless, and California, one of the most egregious one of those, a bill signed into law by Gavin Newsom. Wait, I thought he was our liberal savior. What? Sorry.
He's going to run for president. Everybody's going to forget all about this stuff.
All about.
Oh, they're not going to forget. They're just going to tell you to ignore it and to pretend like it didn't happen. Just like they wanted you to pretend like Kamala Harris didn't say she was going to lock up black people and she was going to leave people in prison so they could fight fires without getting paid for them. Like we just.
Yes, you're right. You're absolutely right.
Let me not say we. This is par for the course. This par for the course.
That's facts. And to your point, Kim, yeah, you're right. This is happening all over the country. This particular story, though, is about what's happening in Louisiana. Sorry. In America's poorest state, unhoused people may soon be jailed. Unhoused residents warn a Louisiana bill punishes survival in a state already leading the nation in poverty and incarceration. Oh, man. Shout out to this brother. Get the fuck out of my house. I respect the energy. As the Louisiana State Senate debated what the National Homelessness Law Center says is, quote, one of the cruelest anti-homeless bills in the country, end quote, more than 50 mainly black unhoused people sat and lay on the sidewalk in New Orleans' Central City neighborhood. The bill, which already passed overwhelmingly through the state's Republican-dominated House of Representatives, could subject unhoused people to fines, jail time, or even unpaid labor if they are found sleeping outdoors. We're struggling already, and this isn't a choice, end quote, said Christopher Brumfield, 51. Quote, this isn't because we're doing drugs. It is expensive to live, so you're saying you want to penalize us for struggling, end quote. Broomfield has been unhoused, quote, on and off, end quote, since 2020. He owns a trailer in a small rural town in Louisiana's Livingston Parish, but he is unable to afford utilities, water, and a new septic tank, which costs upward of $20,000. He came to New Orleans to try to find a job 5 years ago. Quote, I'm working, but I can't afford to stay in the house. I'll die there, end quote, he said, as he lay on the sidewalk on an 88-degree spring day. Louisiana's efforts come on the heels of a 2024 Supreme Court decision that allows states and cities to criminalize homelessness. That was something I actually did not know about or hadn't. I guess if I'd heard about it, I'd forgotten. But this
what was the year? I'm sorry.
It was a 2024 Supreme Court decision that apparently said states are allowed to arrest people who are unhoused without providing shelter.
So that was a result of a Supreme Court case that came, I think, out of Oregon. Is where it originated. And this town in Oregon, or rather people in the town, were suing the town for criminalizing just sleeping outside, right? Camping in a sense. And then the case made its way to the court, and that's how the court ruled.
That's right. So this is essentially opened the way for all these states to kind of do the same. And allow cities and states to criminalize homelessness. The bill, which is expected to be voted on by the state's Republican-controlled Senate, would make homelessness and sleeping on the streets punishable by a fine of up to $500, imprisonment for up to 6 months, or both. Repeat offenders could face 1 to 2 years in prison with hard labor and a $1,000 fine.
Repeat
not the with hard labor
Yeah.
actually like laid out as part.
Yeah.
And it's funny that you said that part comes up, because there was a recent mass shooting, I want to say, in Baton Rouge, and the Louisiana governor, is it Landry or Landrew? Because I know that's another, political family name with generational power and clout, but whatever the current governor is, Landry, got up there and said, send all of them to Angola for life.
Jesus Christ, man.
Well, at least y'all seen that clip, chat? I know y'all have. He up there sounded like who was the nigga who used to be the governor of Mississippi? George Wallace. He was up there sounding like George Wallace. Like, send them all to Angola, the hard labor. These people. And he said, these people. Well, we can't get parents to raise these people. Send them all out to the plantation forever. I was like, oh shit.
Of course, man. I'm just going to finish these some of these stats and we can get back to it. Louisiana has the nation's highest share of people living in poverty, according to the most recent data collected by the U.S. Census Bureau. And already the state has the highest rate of incarceration, not just in the U.S., but across the entire Western world. About 60% of Louisiana's unhoused population is Black, despite the state being 30% Black. So yeah, I'll end it there. Yeah, Jeff Landry is who you were talking about. This is again, shout out to Jared. Shout out to Poor Magazine. Saw Crushing Wheelchairs last night. A really, really excellent film. And very much, yeah, I appreciate it, as they said, them telling their own story, right? And it was really excellent because they captured so many contradictions, right, in a 2-hour film in such a beautiful way with, as they said, no budget. Just incredible, and highlighting like the violence, the violence of eviction, the violence of these so-called sweeps, right? Where they're taking people's, these people are living in tents, right? You're gonna take the only things that they have, medical equipment, right? Their only belongings, right?
And sometimes, like you said, it's where someone lives. So their IDs,
yeah, exactly.
If they have any like birth record, like records, and then you'll turn around and criminalize them for not having evidence for stuff. So it is the continuous path of oppression and criminalization and recriminalization based on the oppression from the initial like it's a never ending cycle. And there's these tent cities that exist literally everywhere. Mm-hmm. Like everywhere you go in this country, there's a tent city that you can find. And I look at people with absurd wealth, and I just don't even understand like how you can be a person who has like $1 billion and doesn't even think twice about like how many people could live somewhere, or people who own buildings and purposely keep them run down and empty, waiting for the quote unquote Blythe to push whatever city or locality it's in to get the city to buy your land, right? Like it's all.
Yeah. I mean, actually, I want to bring this up from Soul Mega. Once you are unhoused, it's very difficult to get back on your feet. I had 5 addresses in 1 year, and keeping up with your P.O. box, keeping up appearances at work, and dealing with shame is a lot. Absolutely.
And a lot of times it's difficult to get employment or even to get services if you don't have an address, right? And mm-hmm. that is definitely it's unfair, right? Like if you have the ability or the want to work, if you're able to do that, why do you have to have an address? You know what I'm saying? Like if you're willing to show up and do the work, why is an address such a barrier from you being able to get employment? But it is, right? They require it, or even for you to get certain services, or for people to try to send things to you or whatever. If you don't have it, that address, I mean, you don't even. It's so much in our omnipresent in our lives. We don't even really notice like how much and how big of a difference having a permanent address really makes to survive in this society. And I feel for folks because we know how difficult it is to obtain a state ID. You know what I mean? All the paperwork cost of having to obtain, get your social security card, to get your birth certificate with the raised seal, don't get that flat. You can't have a copy. Make sure you get the one with like that. All that is expense and cost. And then for the state just to come and dismantle it, throw it away, disregard it without any consideration about how difficult it was to obtain it in the first place. Like This isn't compassionate governance, and not to say that it ever was, but don't ever let the Democrats, especially, be like, "Oh, look at what's happening in Louisiana. It's a red state." Right
Mhm.
there in progressive California, right there,
Here in
in Los
DC,
Angeles, governed by,
DC,
exactly,
Muriel Bowser
governed by
was
Black
also,
women.
yes, was also clearing encampments, right? Brutalizing unhoused people here in DC as well, right? You know, so absolutely right. Like and shout out to Rao, saw Rao last night as well. There's that, and even applications being very digital now as well, right? So like digital applications, right? Libraries like MLK Library here in DC that are reducing their amount of computers that are going to be available to people who are who don't have another computer to use, right? Which is how a lot of people are able to even apply for these jobs, right? So yeah, man, absolutely. It's the spiral. It's the entire apparatus, right? Not because they're all kind of in a room, you know what I mean, conspiring, but because this is how capitalism works, right? You don't need to come into a room, right? Because all of the same principles are applying, right? Of prioritizing profit, right, and demonizing people who do not own property, right? I mean, it's just, yeah, it's damn. And shout out to Kai. It's horrible news. Kai, Atlanta killed a man on MLK Day during a homeless sweep. I can't.
That's right.
Jesus Christ.
They ran him over with the bulldozer.
Mm.
Horrific shit. Real quick, I mean, in your conversations, I know we have a cosmopolitan bunch here. Chat, y'all chime in here too. When you guys have conversations with people who come from foreign, they come from abroad, and they are shocked, like where are some of the places that people come from when they come to America and see the level of homelessness? Like, they are stunned. Like, I've seen Chinese folks post on, like, they're like, ain't no shit like this in China. Like, you'll never see people just laid out in the streets because they don't have somewhere to live. Like, that, it's so dystopian, and we're so accustomed to it. But the rest of the world is somewhat normalized, I guess, and has some compassion. And when they come here, the sight of the poverty and the desperation is just, they're taken aback by it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's shocking, right? And I mean, I remember that when I went to China as a kid, Beijing, Shanghai, Lijiang. No, I didn't see a single homeless person. I didn't see a single unhoused person, right? So I mean, yeah, I don't even, it's shocking because all this is deliberate and constructed. You could decide that we're going to provide housing for people, right, free of charge or at reduced rate or subsidized, right? You could decide that as a state, and you could decide to provide people with what they need, right? Or you could just not do it, like it's yeah, man. It's a decision, and it's willful, and it's shocking, and I'm not surprised that people come here and are shocked by it, right? Because of the propaganda that America sends abroad, right? To say that this is the land of milk and honey, this is the land, the American dream, and blah 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 blah, right? So yeah.
And chat real quick, and everybody, Renee and Evan too. Like, how are you guys seeing the passage of the new restrictions, the new laws about getting food stamps, for example, like the new work requirements? Because even unhoused people are now required to put in, is it 40 hours a month, chat? Something like that. Like, even if you are, I think the only people who don't have to do this for food stamps are permanently disabled folks, and maybe one other group, maybe kids. But even, I think, kids above a certain age, like 15 or 16, everybody's got new work requirements to get food stamps these days. And it's, if you thought it was difficult before, right, it's made all that more difficult now. And for unhoused people, what job? Get a job. Do I got to put an address on the application in order for me to receive food stamps so I can literally eat to live? Like, I'm just trying to figure out what the end result here is. And obviously I know it's, kill poor people is the goal, right? And that plan is being accelerated right now. But dog, like, what is this going to look like in a year, 2, 5, 10 years? Like, come on. Everybody poor going to be in jail, I guess.
That's the plan. I mean, like, I think it's not like, it is not I don't know, man, like hyperbole. There's like, that is absolutely the plan, right? We our people, you know what I'm saying, unhoused people, poor people, working class people, African people, Black people, right, racialized people, we are all surplus populations as far as these people are concerned, right? And if we can't be working, if they cannot be extracting profit from us, either as consumers or as workers, we are superfluous. And then we, you know, and every apparatus of the state is going to push us into prisons, right, where they can then control, and not just for profit, right, which is important. I mean, that's something that I used to get messed up a lot of times, right, because you know, in terms of prison labor, like a lot companies are able to kind of make some money off of that, but broadly the state kind of loses money, you know, in regards to that. It's about control, right? It is about controlling populations, you know what I'm saying? So we need to realize that, and again, this is the SNAP tracker. People are losing, as you said, people are losing food assistance as the Republican mega bill is implemented. So this was enacted in July 4th to 2025, but it's now coming into effect, which makes deep cuts in federal spending, federal funding for food assistance through the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP, shifting significant new costs to states, dramatically expand SNAP's already harsh and ineffective provisions, taking away people's benefits for not meeting a work requirement, and ended eligibility for many people with a lawful immigration status. So yeah, just to your point, Kim, it's war on all of us, right? And particularly the most marginalized, the most vulnerable of us.
But Trump needs that ballroom, Evan. I mean,
and yep, niggas.
How's he gonna be safe? How's he gonna be safe, Kim, from all of the shooters that miss at every opportunity? How's he gonna be safe from them?
Oh,
we are not sending our best out there after Trump.
You mean the CIA is not sending the best of these fucking these false flags?
A wild, wild west world.
What happened to Cole? Cole, all right. Cole still got Cole locked up, huh? Of course, Cole ain't coming out, but
all I know is the BLA didn't miss. So.
Hey.
Oh.
Hey.
All right. Well, listen, we got a guest coming at the top of the we got the top of the hour, but we also need to take a break. Also, make sure y'all tune in Thursday as me and Kim Brown do classical breakdown, and finally get to Stevie Wonder's pen. All the stuff that he wrote and produced for other artists is going down. So make sure y'all tune into that at 11 a.m. on Thursday. All right. I'm gonna take a quick break. I got somebody I want to introduce y'all to. This going down this weekend, in case y'all didn't know. We got Malcolm X Festival this weekend, and I will be DJing. So come on out if you in Atlanta.
Woo.
Come on out. It's gonna be Saturday and Sunday, so it's gonna be real dope. But I got a brother on we're gonna talk about it a little bit so y'all can know exactly what's going on. All right, so let's do it right here and take this quick break right here on no other than the Remix Morning Show. Let's go. I'm up here pushing all these buttons. All right, Ross, what's good, my brother? You on mute right now. You got to unmute your phone, and then we're going to be good to go.
I can't hear you right now.
Oh, you can't hear me? You still can't hear me?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I can't hear you.
Oh, damn. Well, let them know what's going on at the Malcolm X Fest this weekend if you can hear. Malcolm X. Tell them about the Malcolm X.
I'm not hearing a word you're saying right now. I don't know why. I'm going to make sure my volume is up.
All right, cool. Can you still hear me? Yes, no? All right, well, we'll work it out. And I'll tell them about the Malcolm X Festival, and we'll bring you back around.
Am I supposed to be hearing you right now?
Yeah. It's all good. I
can't hear a word you're saying.
It's all good. We'll get it together.
I don't know why that is. Should I go out and come back in?
Sure, try to do that, and we'll make something happen.
Should I go out and come back in?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, cool. So while we doing that, let me go ahead and give y'all a little bit of remix on a remix for you and yours.
I want you run. I want it tonight. I'm breaking your heart. So don't you try it, I'll be your answer. I'll be your wish. I'll be your fantasy, your favorite dish. If I want you little and right, I'm gonna be there to be in 100% pure.
All right, let me take you to a time and place. Let me take you to the year 1994. We're talking about Crystal Waters off her album Storyteller. The name of that song is 100% Pure Love. Yes, that's over Ear Dr. Beat. If you ain't know, please hit that like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, go to patreon.com, become a member over there, get footage that's rare, and donate where? At blkliberationmedia.org. Media.org. All right, that's it. Can you hear me, my brother?
I can hear you.
All right, please. Ross, you might hear his voice. If you don't, WRFG 89.3 here in Atlanta has a show. Has been holding it down for a nice amount of time. Malcolm X Festival putting it together. How you doing today, my brother?
Oh, I'm doing good. I'm just getting ready for this weekend, getting ready for the festival, looking forward to it. Looking forward to the DJs. We have, a couple of DJs, as you well know. Looking forward to your set on Sunday.
Word.
We just looking forward to it, man. Malcolm X Fest it's like a family reunion. It's what we look forward to every year. It kind of starts off the season. It starts off the summer festival season, and then from there, we're good to go.
And this is how many years has this been going on?
This one, I want to say is 34 years.
Ooh,
maybe 33, 34 years, something like that, somewhere around there. But it's been a lot of years. It's been so many years that there's people who've been going to the Malcolm X Fest all their life. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm really looking forward to the festival. I'm looking forward to just the energy and the vibe that comes out there.
Yeah, no doubt. And you've been you on WRFG 89.3 radio host, been doing it for a minute. Now, when they come out to this festival on this weekend, what can they expect to see?
They're gonna expect to see a lot of food, a lot of vendors, stuff that you only get if you ever been to the African Street Festival in New York or in Brooklyn. Or any of those festivals. Is similar to that, but it's just taking place here in Atlanta. So they expect to see performances and people performing and just a nice vibe. And it's the park. So if you want to be around a lot of people, you can. If you want to spread out, you can spread out too. So it's all of those things going on.
All right. Well, listen, y'all, come on out. West End Park. We call it Malcolm X Park now.
Yeah, we call it Malcolm X Park. But West End Park, that's West End Atlanta, Southwest Atlanta to be exact. And it's going to be a beautiful thing. It's going to be a beautiful thing. Make sure and come out.
All right. And other than that, when can they hear you on your radio show?
On Saturday nights from 10 p.m. until 1 a.m.
All right. What's the name of the show?
Riot Radio.
Riot Radio. Right here on WRC.
10 p.m. to 1 a.m. A lot of reggae music, hip-hop music, all of that.
All right. Ross, thank you for coming through.
Thank you.
See you this weekend.
Yeah, we'll see each other this weekend, man. All right.
Hold it down. Peace.
Nice.
All right. Let's get back to it right here on the Remix Morning Show. All right. We had a double break right there. All right. All right, so we got guests coming. I hope y'all cleaned up and got everything straight, so you ain't embarrassing us.
I don't know why you have to put stuff like that. Do that.
I don't got no home training, but hey man, listen. All right, well, let me get up out of here. Let's go ahead and bring up our guests and let's do it something like this.
I done lost the button. My bad, y'all. look, I'm like a mess. First of all, I owe Joe the big apology. Y'all listen. I'm just tell you how we've been going back and forth for weeks trying to get this scheduled So I finally schedule it. I send this really nice email with links and everything. I send it to the remix people. I email Joe's people back. I'm like, I email sent. I never included Joe on the email.
I'm not gonna lie. I checked the email this morning. That's all you sent it. I checked.
Oh, Joe, you're kind of going in and out.
Yeah, your sound is cutting in and out.
Yeah.
Okay.
It could be the headphones potentially. I'm wondering.
Is this better at all?
Yes.
That is
There
better.
we go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So this is how I do things on Saturday. And so folks know you're gonna get a brief intro to Joe today, and then Joe is gonna come back next month and spend some time with us on a Saturday. But Joe, if you could introduce yourself, tell the folks who you are, where you're at, what's going on, and we can play your campaign video for the people. But why don't you go ahead and intro yourself first?
Definitely. Well, my name is Joe Taché. I'm calling in from Roxbury, Massachusetts, home of Malcolm X. So we just got a Malcolm X shout out earlier. And I'm running for U.S. Senate with the Party for Socialism and Liberation. I've been an organizer with the PSL for 8 years, since 2018, and now running for Senate at a time when people can feel that we're living in crisis, but also don't want to go back to the pre-Trump status quo. And so we're out here bringing a message that's independent of the two-party system, a message that's critical of capitalism, for socialism, and excited to talk with you all about that.
Awesome. Welcome, Joe. Thank you for being here.
Appreciate you. Happy to be here.
All right. So I'm gonna play this so that the folks get your intro and all the good things, and then we will come back and have some more conversation. Thanks, y'all. As soon as I find where I've just put this thing. Ooh, too many things open, y'all. Too many things.
Do you feel like no matter who's in office, we keep struggling? From the cost of living crisis, endless wars, climate disasters, there's one root cause of these issues: capitalism. Billionaire bosses live off the backs of working people like us by design, not by accident. We need a new system, one where workers are in charge, so we can plan the economy to meet the needs of the people and planet. That's socialism. I'm Joe Taché from the Party for Socialism and Liberation, running for U.S. Senate here in Massachusetts, because time is up for these billionaires. I'm a youth worker, the son of an immigrant father and working mother, and I'm a community organizer. For over 7 years, I've been organizing in Roxbury and other parts of Massachusetts with the PSL. We're parents, students, teachers, healthcare workers, and more. A working class party made up of everyday people who know that this country has to change. Donald Trump is attacking our rights from every direction. But these problems started long before Trump. In Massachusetts, we've been a blue state for almost a century. What do we have to show for it? Healthcare deserts, police brutality, crumbling infrastructure, and one of the highest costs of living in the country. The problems we face aren't impossible to fix. In fact, the solutions are common sense. 30% of food produced in this country goes to waste. There's no housing shortage. There's more empty homes in this country than there are homeless people. So why won't our government fix things? Because the billionaires are in charge and they only care about their profits. They cut programs like Medicaid and SNAP, using our tax dollars to fund genocide, war, and deportations instead. Then they try to blame our problems on us, on DEI, on immigrants, on trans people, on poor people. They want to see us fighting each other or hiding in fear. Because the billionaires' biggest fear is all of us united against them. We have the resources. We just need the power. Together, we can take control of our future, fund our housing, healthcare, and communities. I'm running for Senate to fight for that future, but I can't do it alone. This movement needs all of us who are sick of living under the thumb of the billionaires. We don't need more politicians who will make deals with the far right. We need a new system. Capitalism is a national emergency. The solution is socialism.
The solution.
Dope. So Joe, so those who may not be familiar with the Senate race, who's up? Whose seat are you pursuing? Is it Markey or is it Elizabeth Warren?
Sorry, y'all. For some reason, your audio isn't coming through for me. I heard the video, but I can't hear you guys talking.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
can you hear me, Joe?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Oh, weird. It was Kim, but you can't hear Kim. Kim, try speaking one more time.
Check. Hey, what's up, Joe? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can't hear Kim.
Oh, that's
that's weird.
Ghost Rider. So Evan, translate.
That's so weird. Yeah, Joe, Kim was just asking whose seat are you kind of coming for? And maybe broader layer the landscape.
Definitely. So the incumbent in this race is Senator Markey, Ed Markey. He's been in Congress since 1976. He's been in the Senate for a little over a decade. He started out in the House. So he'll be 80 years old at the time of the election. And he's actually one of the more progressive senators in Congress. He represents the Green New Deal, for example, and he'll even speak about the problems of corporate power. So I think it's actually very important for socialists, for independents to be running for seats like this to expose the fact that it's not enough just to win elections. It's not enough to say the right things. You actually have to deliver on making change for people. And for Senator Markey's entire political career, the quality of life for people here in Massachusetts and all across the country has been getting worse. And he runs on programs that the Democratic Party establishment has no intention of ever getting behind. So I think he actually plays a dangerous role in keeping people's faith alive in the Democratic Party as a vehicle of change. And for us in the PSL, and for many people who are sick of the two-party system, we know that if you want to solve the problems that are facing our society, which are largely caused by the fact that there's just 900 billionaires who own as much wealth as the poorest 170 million of us. They're keeping us in poverty. They're sending us to war. They're deploying AI to take people's jobs away. They're destroying our planet. Those problems can't be solved if the political instruments, the political parties we're using are being funded by the very same billionaires who are causing the problem. And so I think it's very important for us to be running this race against Senator Markey to make it clear that we don't just want politicians to say the right things. We actually want to build a movement that can deliver the society that we all deserve.
I appreciate that. And I know for PSL, you know, within PSL, this is like this is an actual party decision, right? Like you basically get the finger tap on the shoulder, like you're up, bro. Can you talk about this decision for you to take this step and run for a senatorial seat?
Yeah, I appreciate you asking that, because a lot of people will ask me, what made you decide to run for US Senate? And I'm like, well, I didn't exactly dream of running for US Senate. I joined the PSL in the first place because I was disillusioned with electoral politics. I mean, I was born in 1995, so I'm 30 years old, just legally old enough to run for Senate. And that's the same year that Trayvon Martin was born. And so when Trayvon was killed, I was in high school. It was something that my friends and I talked a lot about. And that was in the era of Barack Obama, right? And so I was a young person being told that we were living in a post-racial society where we'd solved racism, that Barack Obama was the best that the electoral system has to offer. And I saw the ways in which he continued the same practices of the system, that under his administration, the banks were bailed out and the people were sold out during the Great Recession, that he continued to drop bombs on countries all across the world, including in Libya, on the continent of Africa. I saw the ways in which he continued to deport and terrorize immigrant communities. And of course, we didn't get justice for the many, many cases of police brutality that happened under Barack Obama's presidency. So I became a socialist because I was so disgusted with the system. And I believed and still believe that the real pathway to power is through the collective action of regular, everyday people. But in the PSL, we've also been talking a lot about the fact that we need to be able to put our solutions side by side with the non-solutions of the two-party system. And that it's actually, we can't cede the ground to someone like Ed Markey, who will do the bare minimum and it sounds good, and within the context of the overall political crisis we're facing, you can say, well, at least this politician isn't Donald Trump. but what is the two-party system actually doing um, to deliver us out of this long-term crisis of the decline of quality of life under capitalism and the existential crises we're facing, like climate change, like artificial intelligence, like war. So I was asked to run by other members, other leaders in our organization. It wasn't something that I had a personal aspiration to do, but I see it as the continuation of the work that I've been doing over the last 8 years, which is to grow socialist consciousness, to bring more people into the movement, and to make people feel empowered. That even though things are very dire right now, and there's a lot to be angry about, a lot to be fearful about, we also really do believe that we have the means in our society, in the richest country in the world, to meet everybody's needs. And we just need to build a movement that's powerful enough to take control of those means and make it a reality.
I just dropped the link to your website in the chat. I almost hate to do this to you, but I feel like I can't not do it. Rob says Roxbury word. So I'm calling Joe the new edition candidate. Which literally set off a whole stream of New Edition lyrics in the chat because they just can't help themselves.
Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky, Mike, and Joe.
That's all the candy say. The politicians won. That's good. I love it. And, you know, I will say, I mean, I love the jokes. And also, I love Roxbury as a neighborhood in Boston and Massachusetts more broadly. There's a lot of history. I mentioned Malcolm X lived here. You have some great history of organizing for Black liberation. I'm calling to you from Blue Hill Avenue, and just a few blocks down, the Black Panthers had their office here in Roxbury at 375 Blue Hill Ave. So there's a lot to learn and uplift about our history. And one of the things that we're really trying to do in this campaign is inspire this feeling of dignity, of pride over our history, both cultural and the history of struggle. So I appreciate the New Edition shout out, and I'm proud to be a resident of Roxbury.
I have a question. So y'all translate. So most U.S. Senate campaigns cost about $10 million to run and execute. What are the ways Joe and PSL hope to maybe equalize the effect of big money in Senate races by utilizing their grassroots organizing skills and I guess maybe even social media? Is that can streetwise organizing and smart digital strategies neutralize the need for $10 million to execute a Senate campaign? Is that a sensible question?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Joe, you couldn't hear that, could you?
I could not. I'm so sorry. I didn't want to cut you off, but I could not hear you.
No, it's good. So Ken was just asking, given the fact that typically it takes about $10 million to run a Senate campaign, how is the PSL using your grassroots connections and maybe social media or other media to kind of equalize that, or even is that possible? Rather, kind of get your perspective on that.
Yeah, that's a great question. It's a very big uphill battle, the way that money controls our politics, and is a big reason why I'm a socialist in the first place. I'll say that we can't make up for the financial hole that we're in because of the fact that we're not backed by PACs, by corporate donors, by billionaire donors. But we also feel that we can make our dollars go a lot longer, a lot farther than other candidates can because of the spirit of the type of movement that we're building. So to give you an example, to get on the ballot here in Massachusetts as a Senate candidate, you need to collect 10,000 certified signatures from Massachusetts voters. And the local city halls will actually go and check every signature that you turn in. And if the name isn't legible, or if the person moved and the address they wrote actually isn't where they're registered to vote, or if there's some mark on the page or whatever other reason, they can throw signatures out. So we set the goal of collecting 20,000 signatures so that we could be safe. And even if half of them got thrown out, that we'd still be certified to be on the ballot. And we did a blitz where in 15 days, we collected all 20,000 signatures. And we did that with no paid canvassers, which other campaigns are spending tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars, paying people to collect signatures for them because people don't really believe in their message, and they don't believe in the false promises these politicians are making. For our campaign, we're having volunteers sign up, we're having members of the PSL, we're having people in the community who really are sick and tired of the two-party system and who feel the urgency to build a movement that's an alternative to that system and are dedicating their free time, not getting paid to do it, but doing it because they believe in it. And we have many dedicated PSL volunteer organizers who were able to provide leadership and organization to those volunteers. So if you sign up, you know that you can show up 9 a.m. at Park Street Station or UMass Boston, whatever else it is, but you have a structure to plug into. And again, it's the people that were coordinating that amazing field organizing effort were volunteers. And the fact that we can say that is something I'm extremely proud of, and I think is a product of the work that we've been putting in to build an alternative organization in the PSL and to build a movement. And one of the beautiful things about this campaign is that we're very clear that it doesn't end on election day on November 3rd, and that we're trying to bring in people who are going to commit the rest of their lives to fight for a more just society. And that is how every single year our movement gets stronger. Like, the fact is, you can't build an alternative to the two-party system without building it. So sometimes people say, well, I I would love to not have to vote for the Democrats, and if there ever is an option that emerges, I will participate in it. But the status quo has a certain gravity. Unless you have people that are really working diligently and working very hard to build that alternative, it's never going to come. And so this movement is part and parcel of this kind of long effort that many of us have been making to build that alternative, not just in the electoral arena, but in general, building an expression of people power that's an alternative to the billionaire domination of our current politics.
Was cool.
Sometimes I hate our chat so much. Sometimes I just can't get on my goddamn nerves. Tim for you has said, "Joe, tell the billionaires to cool it down." I just can't. I can't stand them.
Oh man. And yeah, appreciate your comments, Joe. I did want to. I'm seeing a couple of comments in the chat, so I do want to lift these up. But first, maybe since you mentioned the Democratic Party, and maybe you can share how people on the ground are engaging with this. From Sounds of St. Elsewhere, how does the PSL plan to dislodge Massachusetts voters from their allegiance to the Democratic Party? And maybe you can just say how people have been responding to you on the ground when you've been speaking to them. Yeah, share more about that.
Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, I think what's true in the rest of the country is true of Massachusetts as well, which is that people are tired of the status quo. Like, there's polling that comes out every week that shows that, like, here in Massachusetts, people feel like their lives are getting worse, that the cost of living is going up, that people, especially young people, are considering moving out of the state because they can't afford the cost of living. It's one of the most expensive states to live in the country. And so I think the issue isn't really convincing people of the failures of the Democratic Party. I mean, for the last 12 or 13 years, if you look at, there's a poll that's done every year about third party politics, and almost 2/3 of adults in the country believe that there should be a third party or multiple other parties besides the Democrats and Republicans. But a much smaller percent say they actually would participate in third party politics because it doesn't feel feasible, because the political system is set up to ensure that we have this seesaw between two options that don't actually represent any type of change. So for us, I think the key task is building a vibrant and exciting movement that makes people believe it is possible to build outside the Democratic Party. And again, I want to emphasize that in the PSL we do many things. We're organizing in our neighborhoods, in our workplaces, all across the state of Massachusetts around issues that people care about. I was brought into the movement around police brutality. I'm always going to be organizing against police brutality for as long as it exists in the United States, whether it's housing and gentrification, against war and genocide. There are many issues that we're participating in to build the movement. And when people get introduced to the PSL through the campaign, for example, then they learn about the fact that there are people in their neighborhood, in their city, what have you, that are fighting for a change to this system and are fighting for a new system. And I think that is really the key, is building a movement that starts to feel feasible. Like, oh, we actually can do this. that everything that the billionaires and their politicians have told us about the status quo and the fact that society is just how it is, that's not true. That things are always changing, societies are always changing, and every empire, every evil system of the past has seemed inevitable until it was over. And then its end seemed inevitable because you look underneath the surface, you can see all of the injustice and oppression and exploitation that propped it up. And I think if you really step back and look objectively at the reality of the quality of life under capitalism and the fact that both more people are struggling to survive every single year, and we're facing these existential crises that the system is not putting any solutions forward towards, it's clear that there are many opportunities to change the system, but it's about showing people that it is possible to build an alternative, and that's what this campaign is part and parcel of trying to do.
Yeah, thank you, Joe.
Thank you. Well, I appreciate you coming. We'll make sure that the link to your campaign is in the show notes so that folks have them. There's some other questions about, like working with other parties and stuff, but these are the conversations I like to dig into on Saturday. So I'll give you some time. You got a few weeks to get yourself ready because the chat is also undefeated on Saturdays. So I apologize in advance. But I really appreciate your time. And thank you. It was nice to, I know I'm behind the screen, so you're not really meeting me. But my in-laws, one of my in-laws is from Roxbury. And so
nice.
I just called my husband and like, this brother's running in Roxbury. So we
That's
appreciate
awesome.
you. We appreciate you.
Well, I appreciate you all having me on. I'm gonna review this chat transcript to get ready for our next interview, and it was good talking with y'all, and looking forward to the next conversation. Have a great rest of the show.
Right. Appreciate you, Joe.
All right, can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. That was weird for just the one to not. That was weird.
But they have an ear doctor too.
Odd.
I don't know.
Even my guest came on. But speaking of people, Brother Jamil sending in $9.99. For me, Howard was a vast desert of Negroes with a few oases of revolutionary strength. Yeah, that's how it be.
Talk to him, Brother Jamil.
That's how it is. I mean, me and my crew had to start our own organization, Society of Ma'at. And we changed some things around on campus. Just have people growing locks, eating, drinking teas, and changing their diet, and reading books that they ain't even imagined they would read. So very true. Very true.
There's always been a contingent of the Howard kids that have been with the shits. The uprising of Howard students. Was it in the 70s, Brother Jamil, 1970, where allegedly that students of Howard found Hattie McDaniel's Academy Award, her Oscar, and reportedly threw it in the Potomac, where it still resides at the bottom of the river, allegedly. So
I have a question. Has the third party ever won?
Yeah.
People are in the chat. This is the thing that frustrates me to no end, right? Like, it's so frustrating. I get it. Electoral politics it's a rough space to be in. It is not the only thing. It is a tactic. It is part of a strategy to move forward and to try and do something. Part of the PSL strategy is to run candidates, and as they're running candidates, to teach people about socialism, to engage in, some forms of conversation, all the things, and also to it's part of growing their party and to grow people to understand what actual socialism is versus the Mamdani DSA version of socialism, which is not socialism. So we have people in the chat going, well, this is the problem, is one candidate, Greens don't run people in more. And it's literally false. I live in a state where we are running people for a Senate seat We are running people for congressional seats. We are running people for local seats across the country. There are hundreds of Green Party people in local seats who have won their elections. So people, please, like, I get it. People don't like electoral politics. Like, I get it. But we live in a place where everything that is oppressing you is led by the people in government. So you can be mad that there's some people taking the tactic of electoral politics. Okay, fine, cool. But at the same time, there is actual work being done. The PSL New Jersey meets every other week in a community space. They read books, they share information, they do political education. I don't even think they're running anybody. They've been meeting every other week and doing group conversations for like a year and a half. So this whole like they don't do anything, it's false. Period. It's false. So please, y'all, like, just chill, like, relax.
Yeah.
So on the local level, the third party is one, but never on the bigger level, national level.
It depends on what you mean by third party. Like, for example, in recent, I mean, there are independents in the Senate right now, or there have been, and I mean, they're not on our side, but they're not Republican or Democrat. And in the history of elections in this country, yeah, we've had multiple parties and people hold seats that were not Republican or Democrat, but that has just, it's faded away because the two-party duopoly has tried to disenfranchise the third parties. Even Democrats have tried to disenfranchise Greens and PSL candidates where in North Carolina and Pennsylvania in this past presidential election. So some of the third parties are being kneecapped by Democrats more so than by Republicans.
Guess they got that
That's
money.
what's doing to get them off the ballot, right? So, sorry, Doctor, what were you gonna say?
No, I was just saying, it sounds like cash rules. Everything
around me.
You ain't got that money to promote like the other parties. It's a uphill battle.
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, yeah, Renee, want to take your point to heart, right? That we have not figured it out, right? So we need to use multiple strategies, right? And it's all part of we need to build a united front against fascism, as Comrade Garuba always says. So it's not a one size fits all model, right? And critiques are absolutely fine and welcome, right? But you have to be accurate. So this idea
and that's the thing, like, and it's different everywhere, right? Like in some states you don't have this. There isn't a Green Party in every state. There isn't PSL in every state. I'm sure in some states Greens suck. I'm sure in some states PSL sucks. Like, this is what happens. But the reality is that people have to find the way to do the thing that they're comfortable doing, and just sitting around and being like, they don't do nothing, all they do is protest. You were making a blanket statement about a nationwide organization, which, like, literally, it is not true. So it, like, struggle through it, like, have your beefs. This is what happened in my area. There's all kinds of things to be concerned about. And part of the problem, as Kim said, is when third parties try to run, there is literally all these minions who work for the Democrats, who work for the Republicans, who come after anybody who's trying to get on the ballot. We were running somebody for governor. She got thrown off the ballot because the Democrats literally went through and threw off like 90% of the names that sounded too Arab or too Spanish.
Yikes.
Right? Yeah. So this is what happens.
Yeah.
Is that what happened with Butch Ware? I'm sorry, I kind of lost track of his campaign for governor in California.
So they held him off the ballot on what they said was a technicality regarding paperwork that wasn't submitted. He actually proved that the paperwork was submitted, but by then they had already printed all the ballots. So their response was, "Oh, well, you were right, but my bad. The ballots are printed. There's nothing we can do about it now."
That's crazy. That's
that's gangster.
It
is the gangsterism of the United States. It's the gangsterism of this duopoly and the capitalist class that run. I mean, like, yes, it is gangsterism. Like, it absolutely is. Comrade John, we talks about that all the time. You know, the gangsterism of the United States, of the EU, of the US, EU, NATO axis of domination, right? Like, you know, yeah. Look, I mean,
there's no bigger gang in the world
yes.
than the U.S.
Yes.
governmental system and those who pay for it. Like, it's literally.
So I got a question.
Oh boy.
Serious as cancer.
Get ready. Get ready.
So with all y'all, you know, organizing, reading and stuff like that, what is it you would do?
Hold on. Yeah, you gotta.
just a twinge of condescension, you know, where all y'all fancy organizing and book reading ass.
All that music listening you're doing, all that headphone and the mixing you're doing.
I can't even get the question out. Oh my goodness. So with all that you're doing, if you were mayor, what would you do about homelessness? What would you do about these kids that's out here going and hanging out and shooting up the places? How would you deal with it? You know what I'm saying? I'm sure, you know, we always talk about the problems, but do we talk about the solutions? Like, if you were in that situation, what would you do? Because I've been thinking about turning community centers into rehabilitation centers.
For drugs?
For the homeless, you know, get them there, try to find them jobs, even street sweepers or something like this. And the kids that's out here wilding out with nothing to do, I will maybe have a therapist in this building. I'll also give them jobs as water boys or something like that. Just turn these community centers into, you know, rehabilitation centers for our youth instead of throwing them in jail, and for the homeless finding, you know, employment or something. What's some strategies y'all have or talk about in your organization?
I have an idea. I'm not in an organization, but I just saw the story, Ear Doctor, where the Atlanta city budget is up to be passed in the next coming weeks, right? Maybe by July, the city council has to vote on a budget. The mayor's proposed budget, I think 32% of the entire budget for the city of Atlanta is going to the police. 32%. The budget is like $900 some million, and they want to give 300 some plus million to the cops all by themselves, which is wild to me. So I don't know if there's a youth curfew in Atlanta, but if I were mayor, in terms of dealing with the youth, any youth that you see out there wilding out or violating the curfew or disorderly conduct or shoplifting, instead of a cop going to arrest the child, maybe a cop and a social worker, like, okay, kid, you know, let's go back to where you live. Where do you live? You know, I live with my grandma, or I live in a group home, or whatever. You literally have to take the child back to where they lay their head, if they have somewhere to lay their head, and figure out what's going on. In some cases, it may not be nothing going on. Kids are going to be kids, right? But in other cases, there could be some serious, you know, issues happening within the household that need to be addressed. And if we got money to give $300+ million annually to the police, we absolutely have the money for social services to reach out and get to these kids. So we need to redirect a lot of this money away from quote unquote public safety, because who the fuck is it keeping safe? It ain't keeping the public safe. It's keeping the property safe. So not spending so much money on cops, if any goddamn money on cops, right? You fix the home, a lot of the so-called criminal ills, and you fix poverty. You know, if people aren't poor, if they're not doing survival crimes, they're not going to be out there doing crimes. So anyway, that's
so
just
your
my
part of your solution would be defunding the police and
immediately
putting your money somewhere. Okay. What about you, Evan?
Well, yeah, I mean, just to go off Kim's point, Mayor Bowser just released their fiscal year for 2027 budget, and the MPD Metropolitan Police Department is set to receive nearly 15% increase in funding, amounting to about $90 million in additional funds. So I think something that we always get tripped up on is like seeding the ground, right, to their arguments, right, with the assumption that like, okay, like if I come into this system, I need to do these things, right? You got to do something about public safety. You got to do something, right? But I think that there, you know, as Kim's saying, like there's no shortage of money, right? And all we're limited to, if you came in as a mayor and you're like, your goal is not to be reelected, but to change as much as possible in order to make the lives of people that you're serving better, you can do an infinite amount of things, right? You can do free housing, right? I do not want to create the assumption, right, or perpetuate the assumption that those who are unhoused are not working. Many people are working poor and working unhoused, right? And like, you know, that, so, and they're just not making enough money to do it, right? But that aside, right, you can make free housing for people, right? You can create free youth programs for people, right? You can defund the police, right, and move that money to other spaces, right? You can create free grocery programs, right? You can, like, there's so much you could do, right? Like the sky is the limit, right? But it's about, you know, building the imagination to do those things, building the organization to support you. Because if I get in as mayor, right, I'm going to be fighting ostensibly. Maybe I put in a police chief, right, but I'm going to fight a whole police department, right, that is not with me, right? Council members that are probably not with me. So I would need a movement, an organized movement, a united front behind me that's supporting me to, you know, to be able to do all of that stuff, right? But, you know, in this situation that you've constructed here, Doctor, right, like any and everything, right? You can do any and everything if within your, and I don't want to create.
Yeah, I was about to say.
No, yeah, because it's important, right? Because people do. Mamdani is a perfect example. When Mamdani was running, he was running his mouth talking about, I'm about to arrest Netanyahu, right? When he comes to New York, he did not have the capacity to do that. And under what law, right? Under what U.S. law? U.S. doesn't sign on to the ICC, right? And like all these other international agreements, right? So he never had the power to do that, right? And I think that's also part of it, right? You're selling people a dream when you're talking about some stuff that you're actually fit, like literally not going to be able to do in that office. But to the extent that you can, run it to the ground. You know what I'm saying? Like do as much as you possibly can. If your goal is not re-election, if your goal is not getting as much money in your coffers as possible, right? You could do a lot, I think, right? And then create those contradictions, put them on front, you know, on Front Street. Try to solve people's material issues, right? You're not going to get reelected again, right? Because most likely, right? And then the state is going to try to take those things away, and you have an opportunity to say, "Hey, we create this contradiction. You see, we provide all this housing for people. We made people's lives better. People were able to eat. We reduced hunger in our city, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera." And now they're going to walk that back, right? And at that point, you've given people an opportunity to see like what is possible, and it's going to be a lot harder to take that away from people. So, you know.
Hey, Trump has shown us the way. Listen, get in there and do as much as you can.
I mean, that is the character, right? Like when the Republicans get, and this is also part of the character of the United States, right? So I'm not going to say that, like, even if, anyway, this is a right-wing settler colonial fascist state, right? So of course, the most out and out fascist party is going to be able to wield power in a very particular way that the liberals, which have to kind of speak to, even though it's not what they're actually doing, but they have to speak to some kind of broader unity, aren't going to be able to move in that way. But to your point, we see Democrats don't wield power when they're in office, right? Because it's not in their interest. But assuming that they believe the things that they say, they don't wield power, right? When they're in office. And if we go back to Obama, if many of the things have been, if he had wielded his power and formalized or, you know, codified certain things, right? We wouldn't be struggling with women's right to health care, abortion being a subset of that, right? We wouldn't be struggling with voting rights. You know what I'm saying? Like,
so Mayor Renee, what would you do?
So there used to be a program in New York. It actually, I think, still quietly exists, but people don't know it's a thing, where they would sell like the dilapidated buildings and apartments to neighborhoods and allow them to actually do all the reconstruction. And then once everything is done, they own it, because that's the deal that they make. They buy it at a lesser cost, and then they put in all the money and energy into rebuilding the area. And it allowed for a lot of people to actually live, like get places to live, right? Because they had access finally to a space, and it took work. But what you find a lot in communities is you have people who can do all of this work and don't have jobs, right? So they would get a collection of people together within a neighborhood, plumbers, electricians, all those things, and they would work on different spaces so that people could actually find somewhere to live. So I would institute a program like that, because there's plenty of empty houses and there's plenty of people who could find some way to rehab a house and be able to live there.
So can I chime in real quick
Yeah,
here?
yeah.
Because there was a similar program, Baltimore City, tap in here real quick. The Dollar Home program in Baltimore that has been in place for decades. And there's some chicanery with it. You know what I mean? I don't know if people, when they buy these homes for $1, obviously they have to assume all the rehabilitation costs, but sometimes I think they inherit like old water bills on the property. Like it's some catches in there, but I feel like it sounds good, right? But there's a similar program in Baltimore that has pitfalls with it.
So I will only because like my aunt literally got her apartment this way. I don't believe that that's one of the things that came with the old program. I don't know if I don't even actually know if the program still exists now. Yes, Craig, it is the Community Land Trust with limited equity cooperatives. Yes. So look, I think one of the biggest problems that we have is that there are all these things that exist that people do not have access to unless they have all the things that they can't have access to, right? So like you have a transportation system, but it costs you $3 to get from one point to the other, right? You have empty houses, but you don't have like there's no ability to go and just live in a house. It turns into a whole thing. You have literally like the city joining in with thieves to steal houses from that people are living in from their property, right? So I feel like that has to be part of the job, is how do you change these systems in order to allow for things to happen. And in the end, you can't be Mamdani and like say the thing and then and this is the problem, right? They say the thing and then they get there and they don't do the thing. So then you end up always with this drama that's happening where you have someone who is talking all the game, and then once they get into the position where they're actually able to do something, it doesn't happen. I mean, BB literally did a live interview on CBS. Like, it's absurd. Like this idea that someone who is an international war criminal is able to sit on a national TV news program and just do whatever, right? It's craziness. So that would be the first thing that I would do, is institute some kind of program that would allow people to actually go into these areas where the city is eventually going to take over and call it Blythe, and then sell it to some major corporation so that they can build apartments that people can't afford to live in, and instead give those spaces back to the people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. One addition would be I would also support the development of all types of cooperatives, worker cooperatives, housing cooperatives, all of those types of things. Not because that in of itself is going to be the solution, but I do think that like giving people an understanding of what democracy could look like in the workplace, the place they spend most of their time, as opposed to like the deeply oppressive and authoritarian spaces that they actually work in. I think that could be helpful in radicalizing people and helping them understand they can, what that could look like. So it's like another thing that I think I would, if I ruled the city as mayor, right, I would also do that.
All right. Remix Morning Show, y'all, where we post problems and try to work out solutions at the same time. And you know what I'm saying? Try to figure out what can be done, because there's a lot of crazy sites.
Shout out to Kali Akuno and Corporation Jackson. My bad. From Leo.
Oh, well, what's going on there? Since you had to shout it out so bad.
Kali Akuno and Corporation Jackson are implementing what I just described, right?
Yeah.
Cooperatives in that city, and they're experiencing contradictions. I'm not going to say like it's not, contradictions of being a black city in a white supremacist state within a white supremacist country, right? They're being attacked. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like it's not an end all be all, right? But I do think that there's revolutionary potential in those formations if you have the understanding that is a tool as opposed to the end.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Can we pick up our sister Amber Sherman? Did y'all see Amber giving white folks the fucking blues in Nashville? Oh yeah.
She played it on Friday. She gave them the blues.
Oh, word. Big up.
Gotta, Amber's about it out here. Shout out to all the Memphis baddies. You know what I'm saying? All the Tennessee baddies showing up.
All right. Hey, so what's coming up? Go ahead. We got enough time for you, Evan.
Thanks, dear doctor.
Run the calendar, Evan.
Clear the way for me. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate that. I appreciate that. What we got? Okay, so let me go in order.
Wow. Oh, my bad. I said that out loud.
It's more than one thing, if you don't mind.
That's good. Organizing.
So first up, we got our Asada Shakur Popular Education Session. We changed the name, ASPE, not ASSG anymore. But as the topic, right, you can see in this carousel right now, DC Black workers are losing jobs at the highest rates in the country, and it's hitting Black women the hardest. Why? Go through a lot of that in terms of how they're disproportionately losing jobs. But the point is, this Wednesday, our topic for ASPE will be where are all the jobs, unemployment, and exploitation of Black women in DC. That's going to be this Wednesday at 7 p.m. I'll put the link in the chat, but please come out in person to the Black Workers and Wellness Center if you're able, or you can use the link to register online and to get the Zoom. Also, we got Malcolm X Day coming up. It's too small. Let's do it this way.
Sunday, May 17th.
Yep. Malcolm X Day. We're going to be in Anacostia Park, Field 6 near the Skating Pavilion. If you're familiar, it's going to be from 12 to 5. We will have blood pressure tests, medical supplies, food, music, fresh produce, kids activities. Bring the whole family. It's going to be for all ages and performances. You can see the list of comrades that we've signed on, that we're organizations that we're organizing to do this, right? So you see BAP, DC, Black Men Build, right? Malcolm X Grassroots Movements, among others, the party, among others. And this is PACA's effort to reignite Malcolm X Day, right? It began in 1972 and was held in Anacostia Park for 23 years before it was, it could not continue anymore. So we're trying to reignite that in the city. So please come through. Again, May 17th from noon to 5 p.m. Come celebrate Malcolm X Day with us. And I think that's it.
Resurrection. All right, bring it back. All right, Renee, Saturday, what we got to look forward to?
So we are actually going to have Ajamu on. So I'm really excited. So he's going to come through and talk to us for a little while about about some stuff. So I'm actually really looking forward to that conversation. So that's what we'll be up to. And I'll let folks know as it gets closer, but end of June, we are going to be hosting Lara Shiha, whose new book just got released. I just got mine in the mail. So if you pre-ordered, yours is on the way probably. So she's going to be in Jersey at the end of June to have a conversation about her book. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Nice. All right. And Thursday, you can catch me and Kim, Classical Breakdown, Music 101, Stevie Wonder's Pen. So definitely going to be a bunch of bangers on that one. So make sure y'all come through for that.
A lot of people probably have not heard, because they weren't all like hit records, but again, you see the evolution of Stevie's songwriting from when he was writing, for the Supremes and for the Miracles in the 60s, and then for the Spinners, and then for Shaka Khan in the 70s. Oh yeah, Stevie.
Get your lunch basket. We're going to take you all for a trip. And make sure if y'all in Atlanta this weekend, come out to the Malcolm X Festival. I will be spending Sunday at 3 p.m. At 3 p.m. So come out and check me out. I'm going to have my tent and my chairs out, chilling out for the day. So
you're going to go live. You going to bless us with a live broadcast?
I'm thinking of live. I'm just making sure everything is straight. I just want to focus on my set. I might just record it and play it another day, but we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. You had your hand up.
I got one more thing.
Really? Imagine that.
My bad. I got one more thing. Again, shout out to Dr. Ball. Shout out to Jared. Please go see Crushing Wheelchairs tonight if you're able. It'll be in DC at AFI Silver Theater. Actually, probably Silver Spring. AFI Silver Theater and Cultural Center. Doors open at 5:30. Screen starts at 6:30. Please go see this. I know Comrades and BAP will be there. And Comrades and PAC will be there with some literature as well.
What time again? What's the times? Because I might be able to make
doors open at 5:30 and the show starts at 6:30. They started a little late last night, but I wouldn't because they do like a little bit of a presentation before, which was really also dope and powerful. So I would just
It's the AI5 Theater. It's on Colesville Road and so downtown Silver Spring.
I think so. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. There it is. So this is the Remix Morning Show, y'all. We will be back here tomorrow at 8 a.m. with Women's Wednesday. So make sure y'all tune back in for that. Black Liberation Media. Hit the like, subscribe, do all that thing. Patreon. Get down with the crew. If you're not able to get out here in these streets and organize, listen, you can donate towards this right here so we can continue to bring you what you're not getting anywhere else. All right. That is Evan. That is Renee Johnston. That is Kim Brown. I'm the Ear Doctor. And this is the Remix Morning Show. Peace, y'all. Have a great one. Organize so we can rise. Peace. Black Liberation Media is a collective of Black and African organizers, journalists, academics, and media personalities serving Black and African masses seeking to further grow in their understanding of themselves, their histories, and the African world through entertainment and news. Please continue to like, subscribe, and donate to the channel so we can further serve you and liberate our people. You can also go to blkliberationmedia.org, get some merchandise, and also become a Patreon member and a member from the YouTube. Please do what you can, share, and show your love as we will show ours for you. Black Liberation Media.